Thanks a lot, everyone. I really cherish that opportunity to tell you about why it is so important now to define how the European landscape in battery, in infrastructure, and especially in battery recycling will look within the next few years. And we are really at the point where we have the opportunity to shape how that looks. I'm Gideon, I'm a co-founder of Cylib and co-CEO at Cylib, and we already achieved great things within the past years. In Europe, battery manufacturers were built. In Europe, now we're transitioning finally to EVs. We're electrifying everything, but we need a circular economy in Europe, because otherwise we will stay in all those dependencies that we are currently in. I mean, look at this. This looks relatively complex, but I guide you through it. And what you will see is there is a lot of red on that slide. And red in that context means China. We as Europe, we are dependent on China. Not just we as Europe. The whole world is. China did a pretty good job. China built battery manufacturing. China built EV manufacturing. And also China owns mining and refining. So China owns all those resources that you need to electrify economies. China dominates those value chains. And we saw that throughout the past weeks, months, and years, that we as Europe, that we as the US, that we as the whole world are dependent on those value chains. And I think this is on the one hand a geostrategical issue that we have to tackle. But it also is a major market opportunity that we are missing out. We have to tackle this. And if you look on how things develop within the next years, how they already developed within the past years, you see that we're right now at the tipping point for exponential growth. So first batteries came to the market throughout the past years. Nissan Leaf, an EV came to the market in 2014. BMW brought EVs to the market. But all of those cars have to be recycled at some point. So we see an exponential growth in terms of material that needs to be recycled. And we also see a steadily increasing demand for those raw materials. We see an increasing demand for cobalt, for lithium, for nickel. All those elements are super valuable. So we have to fix it. And we can. We with Cylib, we have the technology to create really resilient supply chains. What we do is we recycle batteries. So you have a battery probably in your pocket. You have a smartphone, you have a laptop, you have a tablet, maybe you have an EV, and you carry a lot of value with you. Like 1 ton of battery is worth right around 5,000 euro just in terms of the raw material in there. And we have a technology that water-based recovers all the elements from such a battery. In fact, we can recover more than 90% of what is in that battery. So mine once, get it out of the earth, but recycle it forever. You can use that material forever. And we did that. We did that once. We did that in lab. Lilian and Paul, the other co-founders, they developed the technology. They were at university, they were in research, they did it in lab scale, recovering all elements from all batteries, recycling lithium carbonate, recycling nickel, recycling all those valuable and critical elements. And now, we did it on the next stage. We started really crazy. We started with a blank sheet of paper, with an empty facility, got some investors in, brought, among others, Porsche, brought Bosch in, brought early stage VCs in, and we built a facility. From an empty facility to a fully operational end-to-end battery recycling facility. We're recycling batteries for basically every OEM in Europe, every OEM in Germany, and we're taking the batteries, we're producing raw material, and we're bringing it to the market. We are making Europe more resilient together with our partners. We build and establish local supply chains. we make sure that we as Europe are not dependent on oil anymore, are not dependent on gas anymore, are not dependent on raw materials anymore. We make sure with our partners that we keep those materials in Europe, can build new batteries, and be independent. It's a lot of hard work. We are today a company with right around 120 employees. Employees doing everything from doing the hands-on work, moving batteries, putting it to machines, recycle it on a hydrometallurgical chemical process, but also working with all those customers. And we see it. Every European automotive OEM, every US-based automotive OEM, they understand that we have that need to build those circular supply chains. So we did it once. We did it in the lab. We did it in the demo plant, in the pilot facility. So basically, we did it twice. We not just did it once. And now we're going large scale. We are going industrial. And this is a crazy dimension. In the midst of a chem park in Dormagen in Germany, it's between Düsseldorf and Cologne, for those who are familiar with Germany, we are building Europe's first and biggest LFP and NMC recycling plant. That means we are building the biggest facility in Europe capable of recycling all types of batteries. We're doing it with strong partners. We're doing it with automotive OEMs like Porsche. We're doing it with Tier 1 suppliers like Bosch. We're doing it with strong investors. And we're doing this with an extensive customer base. So, I really urge you, I really urge everyone here, let's build a resilient European supply chain together. We have to appreciate the efforts that battery manufacturers put in. We have to appreciate the value of being independent as Europe. We have to appreciate that it will also take a little bit from us. We have to do smart sourcing decisions. We have to do it when we source our cell phones, when we source our materials, but we also have to do when thinking about what to eat. We have to think about how we live and how we want to live in the future. And with what Cylib is doing, we are doing a big part of being resilient as Europe. We are doing a big part of what we need as Europe, as Western world, to be resilient. But we can't do it alone. We need you. We need every one of you. And together, I think we have here the power. We have here the money. We have here the people to build a strong, resilient European future together. So thanks a lot for that. And see you soon.